Time now for sports. Erin Glazier's in for Jordan Cunningham tonight and some playoff action in Nanaimo.
Very exciting. The Victoria Junior Shamrocks found themselves with their backs against the wall tonight on the road in Nanaimo after losing Game 1 11-9 in the best-of-3 first-round playoff series against the Timbermen. It was a must-win scenario tonight, and when you know it, the first and second periods virtually mirrored each other as these two teams have looked very even in the postseason, despite the Shamrocks being the better regular season squad. And their fans in attendance to support that. The Shamrocks on the board first, courtesy of a quick low shot from the stick of Blair Pinnock, but the Timbermen would outscore them 4-3 after one. Not so in the second. The reverse, in fact, that's Carson Leung with number 2 of 3 on the night, a power play marker. We're tied at 7 after 2 frames, but to the third we go. 11-10 for the Shamrocks, just under 3 minutes. Ryan Jake spoils it with a breakaway beauty, but Mark Lawrence one-ups him. The hero 6 points on the night. He gets the winner. 12-11 is your final. Game 3 goes Thursday in a 7 p.m. start at Bear Mountain. No doubt their lucky leprechaun will be there. All right, well, top local MMA fighters will descend on Bear Mountain Saturday night for AFC 3 Evolution. And whether they enter the octagon and exit the winner remains to be seen, but 4 fighters in particular from Victoria should have a pretty good shot at success. AFC is the brainchild of President Darren Owen, who knew there was more than enough talent to supply a professionally run MMA card in Victoria.
On the island, in all, has phenomenal fighters, and a lot of them don't have a name yet, but, we're changing that. We're giving them a spot to grow their sport and their craft, and, we're hoping to move them up to the big leagues.
And for Zuma coach Adam Zuzek, Evolution is not only giving his fighters a forum to perform at, but it's also helping to change the perception of what this sport is all about.
I think through the years we've had a growth and appreciation of the sport itself. So I think now people are really getting into the sport, and I think the big draw is that this is a local event with a lot of local fighters.
Saturday night, this is what the champion of AFC 3 Evolution will be taking home in the title fight between Nick Hinchcliffe and Caleb Starnes. And then there are those secondary fighters on the card who are still trying to climb the ladder, like Connor Wood, a 6-year kickboxing veteran. He's been training MMA for 2, and whether it's a cauliflowered ear or a bloody eye from an errant practice elbow, he says there's nothing like getting pushed to the limit.
I've been an athlete my whole life. I grew up doing team sports, but nothing's ever pushed me as much as MMA has.
And he and training partner Nick Drieger have no lack of confidence heading into their respective fights Saturday night.
I just feel good. I'm ready to go. Oh, I'll win. First round.
And 2 other notables to keep an eye on: former CFL linebacker and Victoria native Justin Shaw, who crushed his opponent in his first fight, and welterweight technician Derek Medler.
All the hard work I've put in finally get to show, last 2 months what I've been training for. So can't wait to put on a show.
I haven't been, solo doing anything before in sports, so that was kind of cool. But I look to do the same. Obviously, I want to come out with a win and put on a good show for the fans.
Well, the 81st Major League All-Star Game began with a somber moment of silence tonight in memory of longtime Yankees owner George Steinbrenner, who died from a heart attack at the age of 80 early this morning. Yet it's fitting and just the way the brash boss would have wanted it, as he upstaged the league's biggest game of the year without even being present.
We pause to remember the life and legacy of one of baseball's most iconic figures, the boss, George Steinbrenner.
However, his pinstripe players would be on the losing end tonight in a dominant display from 2 of the National League's brightest stars on the mound. David Price and Ubaldo Jimenez, they set the tone early before Brian McCann's 3-run double in the 7th provided all the offense the NL would need as they won their first summer classic since 1996. Robinson Cano's 5th-inning sac fly, that brought home Evan Longoria, the only run for the American side in the 3-1 final. And while it may have taken the National League a long time to get back on track, they still lead the overall All-Star Game series with a 41-38-2 record. And a day after having a day off, yesterday, about 5.5 hours of straight climbing through the Alps. That's what Victoria's Ryder Hesjedal had to put up with in Stage 9 of the Tour de France today. And it took its toll on the Garmin Transitions rider. He was 6th overall heading into today, but fell to 12th after a 23rd place finish in this grueling stage. French rider Sandy Cesar finished first in a 7-man breakaway that included overall leader Andy Schleck of Luxembourg. Rider now trails Schleck by 5 minutes and 42 seconds with 11 stages remaining.
I wonder if he can make up that time.
I think so. He's a fantastic rider.
Depends if something happens. What's your sport?
Oh, I'm a runner. Love running.
It's not really a sport, but no, I'm
You
just
know,
kidding.
it is too.
Yeah, well, good. Have you tried the triathlon?
I have not because I'm a terrible swimmer. That's my downfall.
All right. It's always hope.
Yeah, maybe
Well,
one day.
Speaking of hope, from greeting customers at Walmart in Nanaimo to performing on TV for an audience of millions.